Hey everybody, we've got an InFocus to look at today. It's an IN2128HDx. It's a decent projector, 4000 lumen in standard mode, 3160 in eco. It's it's kind of close if you ask me. The resolution's 1920 by 1080, which is 16 by 9 native. The lamp life is pretty average on it, 2,000 hours in standard mode, 5,000 in eco, and the lamp should be a 260 watt Osram. The complaint is that it tries to come on and then you get a temp light. That's what I was told. So this is the first I'm firing it up. You guys get to see what happens when I do. Not seeing any light on my hand. Oh, there we go. We have a picture. See if I can get it to focus. HDMI searching. So it does come on. So you can... Oh, you can't see. There you go. It is on. I'm just shining it on the wall. This one, oh, that button for menu. You know, the color's not very good. I guess that's blue. What do we have here? We have a test pattern. Ceiling mount. Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. Advanced menu. Setup, status, service, projector info, lamp hours, service code. Audio setup, closed caption, on screen, timer, high altitude. I wish there was a I guess that is kind of blue. I should put a signal on it. That's running fine. They were saying they were getting an overheating warning. They had a lamp explode inside, so I'm wondering if maybe there was a chunk of glass. I did just find that, which looks like it came out the side. Oh, I just dropped it. There we go. Keep it. Well, that's running. It feels a little warm though. I think what I'm going to do is shut it down. It's kind of, I mean, it's supposed to be warm, but I don't know if that's too warm. And then we'll pop the top off and just check the fans, the color wheel, and all that fun stuff. Won't be surprised if I find more glass. So I'm loosening that screw. You know, and the smell, it has like a burned dust smell, so I wonder. Not a bad unit, you know, reasonably priced. And then after that, after this, it probably won't be this video, of course, but I have a ancient, sharp projector that looks like it's probably half dust. Alright, so let's unplug the power cord. And then we get the lamp out of the way. So you can see the door just kind of slides back a little. Looks like it was pretty dusty. That's all dust. Maybe in shipping it all fell loose. That's how you unplug the lamp. And we're going to loosen these guys. That there. Now this is what I'm curious about. I noticed this all seems loose, almost like somebody else was in here. That fan doesn't look straight to me. Come on, focus. See how it's all kind of crooked? So I don't know. I think we're going to tear it down though, and we'll check that. Let's see. To do that, is it... Huh. Oh, it's just the wire flopping around. I'm just going to set that in here for now. Alright. So, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws. No screw in there. Come on. There we are. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. No screw there. That makes me wonder, maybe there's not supposed to be one? I don't know. Let's see now if this top is going to pop off like I expect it to. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, somebody else was in this, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this is holding something. Sometimes they have a little key. I'll slide down. Alright, so I give it a little extra push off camera. Unplug the door switch, now move the ballast wire and take the lid off. What went on here? Okay, so there was a screw in here that was rattling around inside the unit. Looks like somebody was in here, because that is incredibly dusty for what I see in here. So it looks like somebody probably, maybe the user went through and blew it out. Color wheel looks intact. Fan looks dirty though, and it looks like it's assembled wrong. Everything's all, look. I don't think that's normal. This screw right here is up. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it apart and then clean everything and then put it back together, and I'm going to suspect it'll probably be fine. I don't know if these need to come out, but get them loose. Ballast. Now I'm guessing, but I think this is just another Delta made projector, just like BenQ and Optima. The lamp even looks like a BenQ, or a version of BenQ. Nah. There's the network and USB module. It's got a Rico chip in it, probably for the USB, for SD cards maybe. Lightcast, new version. Alright, so those have to come out. See if we can get this board out. Yep. Yeah. That's the main board. And then the ballast frame. I don't think that's really supposed to be that loose, is it? Alright, still using a full-size ballast in this model, so it can't be that new. I see a lot of the more recent, 2019 models have that compact ballast instead of a normal Osram. Now, power supply looks okay. Let's pop this fan assembly out and see what'll happen. Oof. That'll do it. I guess it's supposed to be angled like that. But that's not moving enough air, I'm sure. It's got to be cleaned and then put back together right. That's all tight, none of that came out. Alright, so just I got to hit it with the air and then it should be fine. Got this all clean. It's ready to go back in. I'm trying to do this with the camera physically in front of me so that you guys can see what I'm seeing. But it makes it kind of difficult. But I'm going to try. Alright, so that does sit down all the way when it's installed properly. It's good to know. You know what? Try this direction. And remember, pardon me, and remember with plastic threads, run your screw backwards so you feel it hop. And then you'll be able to start on the original thread without cutting new threads. Because if you cut too many new threads, you will lose, it'll just strip out and then it'll just fall right out. So you can see that's not loose now. That's what happens. Now if the lamp is cooled down, I can show you. The fan lines up with that. This thing's filthy. I have to clean the lamp too. So when the lamp goes in and sits on those pins, it should line that vent right up like that. That actually looks pretty good. Let me put these back in just to make sure. I'm only going to put the middle one in because we should have, yeah, that looks pretty good actually. That's lining right up, so that'll blow the air right inside. I wonder if it's supposed to be a little, it's going to do it just fine. And that's what keeps the lamp cool. So that's in. Next step, put the ballast frame back in. Let's see, get those out of the way. That's all going to come up over here. We still have the, okay, there it is. And remember, the fun part's always putting the wires back where they're supposed to go. And I'll put that ground wire in first. And that one. Surprised there's not more screws holding that assembly in. I know the power plug is being used for that. These two. So essentially what happened was there was a lot of dust, the old lamp overheated, and then it burst, and when the old lamp burst, some of the glass got into the fan and jammed it, and that was making it shut down. Now I did mention to the guy that he might want to check that, but he, you know, everybody's got their skill set. I'm sure whatever he does for a living is something I'm not well versed in. So he wanted to send it in just to make sure it was alright, and I don't blame him. Now we know for sure what's going on, and he won't have to worry. He'll just be able to get it back and use it. One thing I wanted to show you is the top. This is the lamp cover. Now, hopefully it stays in focus, but that's a melt mark, and all of this stippling all over. Looks like somebody actually scraped the glass out. You can see some scratch marks. But when that lamp went, definitely got some glass up in there. I imagine the projector hangs upside down, so just peppered it with molten quartz. So, yeah. I'll show you the bits of glass that I found. One of them has a black mark on it where it was stuck inside that fan. You could see in the corner actually where it was probably keeping the fan from spinning properly, if at all. But first, let's put the main board back in, slide it back, I'm actually going to plug some wires in. That'll be easier to plug in with it like this. This one, this is the temp sensor that was probably letting them know there was a problem. And then power, low voltage, and the rest we'll put in with the, well, I guess I could put this one in. The ones underneath I want to do now, because it's a little harder to get to when the board's in. There we are. All right. Could probably use the screw gun for this, but these screws are pretty well threaded, so just so they don't get over tight and strip out or break something. Hasn't happened in a while, but occasionally you get overzealous with the screw gun and you make more work for yourself. One, two, three. There we go. And then we'll put the light cast board in. We'll get that ready. Actually, let's get our fans plugged back in. That's these guys. Ballast connector, fan. Oh, and that's the door switch, right? Just gonna tuck those out of the way until the cover goes on. This goes to the light cast board. That's power, just for light cast. And then we just line up. There we go. That double row connector is a little tricky. There must be a model of this that doesn't have the light cast board. Maybe it's just no HDx, maybe. I'm just postulating. I'm sure I could look on the internet. And if it seems important enough while I'm editing, maybe I'll put a little blurb explaining what the differences are. If not, it's not that interesting. Alright, we have the color wheel, power. There we go. And as of this video, see if I actually leave this in after editing. But as of this video, I am almost at 1,000 subscribers. If, I don't know, I'm thinking about doing a contest where at 1,000 you put your comment or something on a video and I give away a projector. It'll, you know, not a brand new one, but, you know, be a used one that works fine. So I'm thinking about it. If I, you know, if y'all think that might be interesting, put a comment and let me know if you think you'd be interested in that. Everybody likes free stuff. So, anyway. Now it's time to put the cover on. We have the door switch that has to plug in. and then we'll have to deal with the lamp connectors. So first things first, plug that back in. And I'll breathe loudly into the camera some more. I swear I'm not wheezing, I don't know, I guess I breathe loudly. Alright. Oh, come on, there we are. There's nothing that has to go in on the top, so I'm just going to put the lamp cover on. We'll do the bottom screws, and then do the back screws, and we'll fire it up. So first thing, I want to try and put that one screw in that was missing. Alright, there's one. It was just loose in the projector. That was weird. Pretty sure the owner took it apart, but you know, whatever. Maybe they saw one of my videos. I don't know. It's kind of the point of them, so that you can work on it yourself. So this projector was made in January of 2017. They made these up until January of 2019. So that would make sense. It was probably the original lamp that exploded. The original InFocus lamp, as I dig at InFocus. They're really whiny about aftermarket lamps. Most aftermarket lamps are perfectly fine. You know, same thing. Some of the aftermarket lamp companies even make OEM lamps under contract, so there's really no difference. Depending, they're you know, some of the cheap lamps are no good, but a good original inside will definitely work good in your projector. That's what's in here. Actually, it's not a. Yeah, let me show you. Actually, I need to clean it too, so I should have done that before I put it back in. Oh, and I need to do the back. To put those screws in. Alright, so first, let's get the lamp out. Yeah, I want to reroute those wires anyway. So here's the lamp. I zoomed out, yeah. Has an Osram 260 watt in it. Now this one says 240, but they're good about 25-30 watts up and down, so this is good up to about 280 it'll do happily for the cooling's okay, but I usually say about 20-25 up and down. The air, as I showed you, goes in. Just trying to get that wire dealt with. Air goes in here, goes into the reflector, and it also goes across the tip of the arc tube, part that actually makes the light. That's the IR block coating. You can see that red there. That's good. And then the exhaust comes out here and through here. So that's what you want to look for. You want to make sure you have that IR block. That's critical. I mean, you can get away with an knockoff bulb, a fake bulb. But if you don't have that coating, you're going to wreck your projector. Melt the light tunnel or burn up one of the lenses. So I'm going to clean this real quick. Alright, now we can put that back in. I imagine they went away from the full housing to this loose wire because it's easier just to have a tail hanging out instead of molding in a connector and all that. Definitely simplifies the design. I think it's a little weird, but I don't design projectors. Alright, so that's going to go there. I'm going to bring that across, plug it in, and route it in there. Just make sure we're not blocking the air vent, which I was not. And lastly, the back. Alright, screws first, then, I don't know, connector nuts, connector bolts. I don't know what the technical name for these things are. I should. I've always just kind of called them connector standoffs. Maybe that's what they're called. Alright, and these I am going to put in, I'm going to tighten them by hand. I'll take them out with the screw gun, but not going to put them in that way. That's how you break them. I have done that, and let me tell you, that's a real pain to fix, especially if the threads are recessed. You got to get creative and then throw away, 3-4 hours of your day because you were being a bonehead and used a screw gun to put in something with a very weak alloy. They're shiny, but I think that's a coating. So I put them in this way. Even with a number 1 setting on the clutch, if you spin a little too fast, they will shear. So for the, 30 seconds that this took me to do, it's worth the peace of mind knowing that it's not going to snap off. Come on, grab your threads. There we go. Alright. So all fasteners are back in. Let's give it a... let's just give it a... Let's fire it up. Let's see. What did I forget to plug in? So it looks like it's turning off now. Alright. Let's plug it in. Let's fire it up. Let's see if that does it. Got a green light, that's good. Yep, I see a light coming out. Oof, dirty. There we go. Oh, that thing's filthy. Man. Yeah. It's not good. Oof. Keys down. It's a little better, but holy mackerel, that thing's got some dirt in it. Let's see if I can get it to focus so I can show the guy. Yeah. I don't know if that's not inside the lens. It's probably inside the DLP area. Especially since none of that's affecting it. But I'll let him know, and then we'll go ahead and we'll clean it. Not a big deal. Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of repairing this InFocus projector. It's a, let's see if I can show you. There we go. It's an IN2128HDx made in January of 2017. Nice little projector for its size. So in the previous video we made sure all the glass was out, that it was clean, and then when we fired up we noticed there was a lot of dust seemingly inside here, which is not that uncommon, but you do got to be really careful going inside here. You can cause a lot of problems if you don't know what you're doing, so I never recommend taking this cover off. And what you saw me doing there was trying to see if this focus ring pulls off. A lot of times they do. Looks like this one probably does, because I was hoping to get to these screws straight, but it looks like I might be able to. Yeah, alright, that's alright. I'm going to go in here and hopefully just a touch of air will clean it up. Well, that's convenient. I'll have to get that screw off the back of that speaker, but at least it caught on the speaker. And it's good. There's the cover. You can see it. Oh, maybe you can't see it, but let's zoom you in and then I'll get that on it. That lens, that lens. Wow, there's even, ooh. Yeah, this is getting cleaned in the nick of time. Wow. See the top I'm going to leave that bubbling alone. I don't want to make it worse. That was a little more air than I was planning, but just want to make sure that's good. Those little bubbles are a little concerning, but what I'm hoping is that as long as the glass stays cool, they should not get any worse. I'm just going to push them back down. And put this cover back on. Hey, alright, that's much better. You should be able to see that. Not get any more of that weird bits of lint and whatnot. So that's in good shape. I'm gonna just hook a signal up to it, and we'll just get some video running through it, and I'll run it for a couple hours and make sure everything's good. Then we'll send it back to the customer. Need to know how to clean out your IN2124 IN2128 HDx. Now you know. I still have to put in the pieces on the back. I guess I'll do that while it's running, but you get the idea. See, it's only 640 by 480, but that's fine for testing. Alright, as you can see, we got the IN2128 HDx up and running. Picture looks good. This is a slightly dark episode of Criminal Minds that I just have on a loop. But if I throw it out of focus, you can see there is no little bits of crud in there. So we got that nice and clean. This projector is good to go. I'm going to let it run another couple hours and just make sure. But it should have shut down by now with the way it was acting in the past. So if you have any questions about your own InFocus or another DLP projector, stick it in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.